In today's lesson, we will learn how to classify some 2D shapes, specifically quadrilaterals. When we classify things, it means we are sorting them into groups based on what they have in common. Let's look at this diagram as an example. At the top, you have common pets. Lots of animals fall into this category. But then, we can start sorting all common pets into smaller groups, like cats and dogs. Then, if we zoom in on dogs, we can begin sorting them into groups. Two different groups of dogs are Labradors and Poodles. But then, what category does a Labradoodle fall into? They are a mix between a Labrador and a Poodle. So, they belong to both groups. Now that we know what it looks like to classify things into groups, let's begin classifying some 2D shapes. Part 1. Quadrilaterals. We will start at the top of the diagram with a group of shapes called quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is any shape with 4 sides. The root quad means 4. This is why a drone with 4 rotors is called a quadcopter, and why a quadruped robot is one with 4 legs. Following the rule that anything with 4 sides is a quadrilateral, we can determine that this is a quadrilateral. But this shape has too many sides to be a quadrilateral, and this shape doesn't have enough sides to be a quadrilateral. Using this information, look at the first section on your guided notes. Pause the video and label all 4-sided shapes with a Q for quadrilateral. We will resume the video in a few moments. You can review your answers after the video is over. The answer key slides can be found with other extension activities in the activity download. Part 2. Parallelograms versus trapezoids. Next, we can break quadrilaterals into 2 categories called parallelograms and trapezoids. Both shapes have 4 sides, so they are both quadrilaterals. But what makes them different is how many pairs of parallel sides they have. Remember, when lines are parallel, they could go on forever and they would still never touch. Parallelograms have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So looking at a parallelogram, we can see that these 2 sides are parallel and will never touch. And these 2 sides are parallel and will never touch. Then you have trapezoids. They only have 1 pair of parallel sides. This pair of sides is parallel and will never touch. But if we extended the other pair of lines, they would eventually cross, so they are not parallel. Using this information, look at the second section on your guided notes. Pause the video and label the parallelograms with a P and the trapezoids with a T. We will continue the video in a few moments. Part 3. Rhombuses and rectangles. Next, we will look at the 2 groups of shapes that belong to the parallelogram category: rhombuses and rectangles. They each have an attribute that makes them special. Rhombuses are special because they all have 4 equal sides. If you measure each side of a rhombus, you will find that they are all equal in length. Then, there are rectangles. The attribute that makes a rectangle special is that they have 4 right angles. That means each angle is a perfect 90-degree angle. Then finally, we need to talk about the shape that is both a rhombus and a rectangle. A square. A square fits the description of both shapes. It has 4 equal sides, which makes it a rhombus, and it has 4 right angles, which makes it a rectangle. Using this knowledge, do your best to correctly label the rhombuses and the rectangles in the final section of your guided video notes. And if the shape is a square, label it as both a rhombus and a rectangle. Great work! With all this new information, you're ready to try the challenge pages. Or maybe you want to talk about these ideas using the discussion slides. All of these resources can be found using the link in the description. Also in the description will be a link to the entire 5th grade geometry mega bundle, which includes resources for learning about coordinate planes and hybrid activities that test your quadrilateral and coordinate plane skills at the same time. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.